Hey, I know you don't smoke weed. I know this. But I'm gonna get you high today. Cause it's Friday.
Yes.
You ain't got no job.
Yes.
And you ain't got shit to do.
And we're back.
What's happening, folks?
It's your boy, Abby Joe.
It's your boy, Just Kingy. You already know.
And we are hot takes and half truth.
Yes.
Agreeable. Go to disagree. What's happening, man?
Cool, baby.
It's good, man. Had a little hiatus.
Yeah, a little high.
A little bit. A little something light.
Much needed, though. I mean, we had a few storms come through, so,
Yeah.
gotta take care of business.
Oh, sunny West Palm, as you say.
Yeah, it is still sunny right now, but
Yeah.
it's planning on getting ugly later.
Yeah. 3 storms in the Atlantic and the Gulf at one time. That's just typical Florida, man. Typical Florida late summer. So, all right, man. Well, how have you been since the last episode?
I've been good, man. I mean, a lot of good things, positive energy, positive things going on at the job place. So,
Okay.
it's been good. It's been good. I mean, I'm looking forward to the rest of the year. Put it like that.
Here we go, man. Many blessings.
Yes,
Hope,
sir.
hope
Yes,
it
sir.
continues,
Yes.
man, through the year and through those PIP reviews and bonus incentives.
Yes.
That's what I'm talking about. Tag your boss.
Yeah.
Tag your boss in this episode.
Cash me out,
There
baby.
you go. For sure, man.
How about yourself, baby?
Hey, man, just been cooling it. Staying low, still dodging, letting the first wave of COVID testers, try out the newly open economy or what. But yeah, man, just been chilling, kicking it at the crib. Had a little photo shoot a couple weeks back.
Yeah, you had a couple.
Nah, just one.
Okay, I thought it was another one. I thought you had two.
Nah, just one.
Okay.
Just that one. I think it was the first weekend of the first. Spent a couple weeks editing, and yeah, man, now we here.
All right.
Today is what, the 22nd. So
22nd.
from the 1st to the 22nd, man, we've been chilling. I'm kind of pissed though, man. I was last week. Was it last week? I think it was last week, the 14th. Man, I got my retwist, man. I had the fresh lineup and everything. I was ready to come in this mug,
Yes.
Kind of hair was a little longer. The retwist was, I got retwisted on Friday, coming here on Saturday. Had a little length to the thing, man. I had to wait a week, sweat it out a little bit, but it's all right.
I mean,
We're going to schedule the next one. We're going to make sure the next one coincides.
My cup was a little more fresh last week too, so I feel you, baby.
Yeah, wasted, kind of wasted the retwist, It's like, damn, these people, YouTube gonna see me. I ain't going outside, but YouTube gonna see me. But next time. So, what you got, man? Hot track of the week.
Hot track of the week, man. I'm gonna go with the homeboy, I should say, fellow Southernite, Mr. Hanky Beat. Produced track. 2 Chainz featuring Lil Wayne. Shake Your Money Maker.
There you go.
So, shout out to them boys. Shout out to
Yeah. Debuted after that Ross and 2 Chainz versus Extravaganza,
Yes,
man.
sir,
Did you see that?
Yeah, I actually did.
What'd you think of that?
Ross took it, but I think I was watching someone's recap, and I think they said it best. Ross music is the music that gets you, that puts you in the mindset to get the bag, and 2 Chainz music is the music that once you have the bag.
Yeah, I agree with that. That's pretty accurate. I like it. I don't know that we covered, or did we do predictions on the last episode?
No, I don't think it came out yet.
Yeah. Well, I know it was announced, so I didn't know if we.
I don't know if it was even announced. I think it was
Okay,
announced
all right,
a day
yeah.
or two after.
Damn.
I think it was maybe that Monday.
We've been off too long, man.
Yeah.
See, that's what happened when you take these type of vacations and sabbaticals.
I think we were still talking about DMX Snoop.
Okay. Yeah. You're right. Well, I'll say this. My homeboys that I talk with offline, we were talking about it a little bit. I had Ross 13-7. I think that was pretty. I think it was pretty close to that by the end of it. I don't think it was a wash by any stretch.
I don't think it was like a Roy wash like Roy wanted it to be.
Yeah. Nah, man, I don't.
He was acting like old boy's gonna have a Boston on 2 Chainz.
Yeah, that's the way that people were talking about it, man. Like he either Ross gonna dime him or he gonna Boston him, and I don't think he did either. I think 2 Chainz held his own. I will say that I think the score could have been closer had 2 Chainz. There was like 3 or 4 where I was like, why the hell did you play this? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But overall, I think I enjoyed it, man. I like Ross's music, but this battle, this Verzuz, event kind of reminded me of how much, like, I guess 2 Chainz, when 2 Chainz was like really popping, was kind of at like the height of, I guess, my life, if you will. So all his songs, it's just like they just hit different, dog. They just hit different.
Brother, they ain't the height of your life, man. We got so much more coming.
Well, you know what I mean, like height of like single life, where it's like I done graduated. I'm out here working. I got a little money. Like you said, like Ross is when you chasing the bag. I secured the bag at that point. So his music, it's like I could actually kind of live, the 2 Chainz songs, So when they was playing that, I'm like, oh no, I remember riding around. I'm getting it, boy. I remember that, boy. I remember sliding from the west side to the east side on the 408 in Orlando, boy. Riding around, I'm getting it. So it was it just kind of brought back those feelings for me. So. All right, man. Well, 2 Chainz featuring Lil Wayne, Moneymaker, man.
Yes, sir.
I like it.
Shout out to the jukebox.
There you go. Yeah, the human jukebox. Southern you. All right, so for I got half truthers for this week.
Okay.
My half truth is gonna go to anybody and everybody out there saying that Meg The Stallion is a snitch.
Okay.
Just any and everybody, because I feel that people have the qualifications for snitching. Or the definition for snitching. I think they have it a little confused, and I think they confuse. I don't think people all the time confuse snitching with if you are a witness. They confuse snitching for being a victim.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's not the definition.
Nope.
And all these people out here saying, she's supposed to hold that down and ain't supposed to say nothing and this and that and this.
She not in the game.
She was a victim to an alleged crime, right?
Yep.
That does not make her a snitch. She wasn't a participant in said crime.
She was a victim.
Right? I think that needs to be, cleared up. Is that snitching is when you are a participant, a co-conspirator, if you will.
Yes.
You had a stake in the payout of said crime, and basically you didn't get caught. Somebody else got caught. Or no, I'm sorry. You got caught. Somebody else didn't get caught. And to lessen the severity of your punishment, you drop names of people who also were participants that
Did you know
at the time were evading the law enforcement.
Did you know? Did you know so-and-so was there?
Yes.
That's snitching, dog. Like Mike Epps said, they give you the ultimate shrimp, ultimate shrimp feast trio, whatever from Red Lobster. They sit a little plate of food in front of you. You like, oh yeah. Pass the garlic butter real quick. Oh yeah, he was there. He was there too.
The cheddar biscuit.
Come on, man. That's snitching. It's not snitching if you do something to me. I'm just gonna put it on us, right? You do something to me. The cops show up. Say it was a third party here. The cops show up and say, what happened? It's clear what happened. I say, the weapon wasn't mine. The third party says, the weapon wasn't mine. It's only one other person in the... It's pretty evident. And I don't think people understand how like situations like this pan out a lot of times where a weapon is involved. But it's like, and I think T.I. had it on his podcast one episode, Expeditiously, where they were talking about it. And they basically said, you get pulled over, right? Say there's 3 people in the car. You get pulled over, cops search the car, find a weapon. Tip said, that ain't mine. His boy said, that ain't mine. Clearly, it's not our weapon. So you're supposed to stand up and take that Because if you don't, what happens is everybody get charged.
Yeah.
So, me personally, I feel like I kind of align with that. Is that if you got it on you, you knew kind of the risk that came with having it on you, you got to stand up and take that.
Yeah, and then, you know, I guess this may be getting a little out of the subject, but the more and more you hear about what went down, it just seems more and more like fraud. Like he's a, you know what I'm saying, weak individual. Like it gets more and more fugazi as more of the story come out. It's like he literally shot at her. Like Harlem Night. Harlem Nights. You know
so I mean,
shot her in the pinky toe.
Yeah, but I'm not here to. I already said my take on that. You know what I'm saying? Last episode, and I'm standing firm in my beliefs there. But it's just I'm just seeing, you know, lack of backing for Meg The Stallion, which I think she should have the support behind her. And I'm seeing a lot of people. Well, it's not. I'm not making it sound like 9 out of 10 are saying it, but it's like. But for me to even it be 3 or 4 out of 10 people saying she's snitching, it just.
Well, you know, a lot of people,
it irks me, man.
People don't like. People got like. So even in my little era, people got that stop snitching thing wrong. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, it's never been about the civilian not snitching. It's always been about the people that's in the game, and a lot of people still don't understand that.
No, they don't, and it's confusing.
Yeah.
So it's like, and I feel like, you know, yeah, that's it, man. I just feel like, you know, if you out here, you know, spreading that she's a snitch or whatever, you a half truther. She's not a snitch. She was a victim.
Yes.
And you clearly don't understand the definition of snitching, and I don't want to do nothing that could possibly be remotely illegal with you. So stay away from it. Just be gone. Be gone, I say. Drink of the week, man.
Drink of the week
is you know, shout out to my boy Julian. You know what I'm saying, Mr. Double Entendre himself. Is a personal, handcrafted, you know, created bottle of wine from my boy. If you're looking at this on YouTube, you watching on YouTube, shout out to all our YouTube viewers.
Shout out to all of them.
Everybody listening up to us on SoundCloud.
All our hot takers and half truthers out there.
Yeah, shout out to all of y'all, man. Like, comment, subscribe, follow, engage with your boys. But keeping with the drink of the week, it's a bottle of red wine.
A unique one.
Yeah. Handmade, man. He makes this, himself personally.
A unique berry that you don't necessarily see used.
Nah, not at all. So, but this is wine made from cherry. He's got it dated 7/22. So we right at the month, man. It's a month old, baby.
7/22. That sounds like
July 22nd.
Sound like something Jeezy used to say. 17.
Mr. 17.5 is what Jeezy used to say. I ain't never heard that price get no lower, no higher. So I don't know what you talking about. But yeah. So this was a bottle my partner made. You see, if you watch it on YouTube, the level is kind of low. I couldn't. I was expecting us to record, a little bit sooner, so I kind of helped myself to it. I'm actually allergic to cherries too, so this was I'm glad I did it off air, just in case,
Well, you had to try it.
Yeah, I had to make sure. I didn't want to,
put a hitch in.
I didn't want to poison my boy over here to him, he snitch on me or whatever.
You want to put a hitch, huh?
So yeah, man. So I wanted to get your take on it. Pour you up a glass. I'm not gonna partake today just because, again, I am allergic. So I didn't have an allergic reaction though, so I will join you with a little bit. But pour up that, man. Have a little sip. Let me know what you think about it. There's more where this came from, obviously. So it's got a nice aroma to it.
Not bad.
It's only a month old, you know what I'm saying? So
it's better than I was expecting.
Yes.
There you go. So shout out to, Julian again, man. Appreciate the bottle. Once we get this thing branded, I'm already in his ear talking about how we got to brand these, and, he's open to feedback. So, whatever you think of it, I've already kind of given him some feedback on it. And, but if you Give me what you think, and then we'll get it over to them, and then we can, tweak the brand, and then we'll have hot takes. Cherry brand wine, 11% by volume. By the way,
I would tell you like this. Matter of fact, we'll do that off air. We're
gonna do it offline, people.
We're gonna do that off air.
Offline.
It's already one thing I would tell you, like in the next year or so, he should probably try to do. Because the only wine I pick up now that I really, really, really love is a certain type. But
okay,
we'll get out
offline, folks. Y'all will not be privy.
Yeah, especially like the
business model will not be televised.
Especially like the reasonable price ones. Yeah.
All right.
Love those.
All right, man. So what we got, man? What's up first? Let's knock them out, man. We got a lot to talk about.
Let's just go ahead and start with the sports side of things. And
okay.
Then we'll get into more. We'll go sports, entertainment, and then we'll get to the real to some interesting topics.
Okay. Still with entertainment, but
yeah, a bit of entertainment. So off top, since our last episode, the playoffs, NBA has started up. And the playoffs has started.
That's right.
I guess I'm sure you've been paying attention.
Absolutely.
Because you're the NBA guy on the team.
Yeah, they've been getting these games started kind of early though, man. The game be done by the time I get off.
The funny thing about it works perfect for me. I just turn that right, boom, and it just be over.
I got home trying to watch the Magic game, and I come in, they do a post game interviews. I'm like, boy, it's 5:30.
Y'all got one too. So that's crazy. I forgot that's your team.
Yeah, I got two teams. I got a team on the East and the West in the game this year.
You do, and both of them did something unexpected.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did. In game one, yeah. Let's talk about it, man. What's up?
So, I guess I got to go ahead and get it out the way. My team did not make it.
No, they did not.
You know what I'm saying?
And your team being the New Orleans Pelicans.
Not only that, but they fired my man Gentry.
Yep, Alvin Gentry. Let him go.
That
was unexpected.
It wasn't unexpected to me. I think coming into this year, we kind of already knew that if he didn't, especially with new GM, because essentially the GM came last year.
Yeah. So
it was all, and basically we've been underperforming, other than that one playoff win. That if he didn't get in the playoffs this year, I thought they were gonna let him go.
Star player, didn't play for half the year.
He's not his guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what GMs do.
All right.
Yeah. So I felt like if he didn't get in the playoffs, he was gonna get fired. And
boys had 2/3 of the team.
When they lost the first two games, I already knew we needed to go 1-1 in the first two games. And when they went 0-2, it was like, all right, that's an uphill climb for a team this young to win 6 straight games. Okay. But on the flip side, one of the younger teams in the bubble went 8-0. So
I guess also didn't make it.
I guess they could.
Shout out to them boys too.
That just lets you know how far back they were.
Yeah, but yeah.
Because if we would have went, I think 5-3, we would have been in the playoff game, the play-in.
The play-in. Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And they went 8-0 and couldn't get in it.
So, well, yeah, but it also depended on the performance of everybody else around you too.
True.
So
True.
They went 8-0, but the teams that they would have been in the play-in with would have been Memphis. It was Memphis and Dame and Portland.
Yeah.
So they would have had to be basically had the same record as those guys. You had to be 35 and whatever. I think Portland made it with 36 and whatever the fuck the math is from 82. So
yeah.
So that's that, man. But yeah, sorry y'all boys didn't make it. I hate that Book and them boys didn't make it. Phenomenal performance by them.
Yeah.
But by all means, man.
Before we get on the actual NBA recap, what you thought about? I know you seen Draymond's little man, I wish my boy wasn't on that team.
Oh,
is that tampering? I don't know. Probably. And then he got fined.
Clearly, you can make the argument for it because he got fined. So.
Yeah.
Do I think it's tampering? I mean, I think it's subliminal, man. It's he's subtweeting. So
I find it. I was a little. I guess for me, it was more of a. You got him on a sports show, commentating, giving his opinion.
Yeah, if you,
don't let him go there.
I was listening somewhere else. I think I don't know where I was listening to this at, but I heard it, and I agree with their statement, which is basically you bring them on a show that's all about sharing opinions and kind of hot takes and
Yes.
Personal takes on things like that. He gives it. He gets fined. I think the studio should cover that fine. And if they don't cover it, then no player should go on that show again, ever.
Yes.
And then as far as the tampering or whatever, I think that, again, if you're going to do it subliminally, it's got to be to where there can be no connection drawn to it, or else they can obviously take legal action or whatever and reprimand you or whatever. So if the league fined them for it, then clearly they found it was tampering, so it's tampering. Whatever, I don't care. I think, there have been more direct, like LeBron telling AD, see you Laker, and then like,
yes.
I meant later, in the later attempted cleanup. But there's been way more direct kind of statements made. Yeah. He could have been talking about any one of 13 people on the squad, the Towel Boys, but we all know who he was talking to.
Yeah.
But shout out to them, man. 8-0. Book, hell of a performance, game winner over Kawhi and Mr. Paul George. So playoff P, playoff P. But yeah, man. So all right. So to get to it, what you got, man? What questions do you have for your?
I guess what's your first takes on the first 3 games? I mean, I guess for all intents and purposes, your team.
The East has had 3 games.
Yeah, your second team tonight had the 3rd game.
Yeah.
So far.
Yeah, I got to break out the jersey. Apparently, I got to break out.
Yes.
I was afraid it was gonna come to this, but I got to break out the jersey, man. Which is crazy though. Before we even get to that, which is crazy because I think I can assign Dame my favorite player in the league right now.
Okay.
Right. For a while, obviously it was Kobe Bean for a while, and then after that it was Derrick Rose when he was on like his come up, and then with all the injuries and stuff, I still love him to death. You know what I'm saying? But as far as active players who handling business, is Dame Dog. Like Dame got that dog in him, man, and I love it. So where you want to start? You want to start East?
Just start on the East.
Okay. The Magic beat the Bucks. That was
shocking.
Yeah, it was unexpected, but.
And beat them good too. They beat them from the beginning to the end.
Yeah.
I was sitting there the whole time like.
And that's what was unexpected.
When they gonna turn it on?
And that's what was unexpected about it. It was that they appeared to be the dominant team the length of the game rather. Not so much in game 2.
No. Game 2 they did the thing.
Or game 3. So. I think it's pretty clear. I'm pulling up the scores right now.
Gentlemen sweep.
They may get another one if they can come out strong.
Game 3's today for them.
They didn't play yesterday. Here, let me pull it up. The Raptors, they didn't play yesterday. I thought they would have played. I thought they were doing kind of a
Clippers, Mavs, and Celtics, 76ers.
Yeah. Okay, so they played this afternoon here at another few minutes.
Yeah, we cut that on a second.
Yeah. So we'll see, man. We'll see how they come out game 3. If they can compete, I actually think they might get 2 wins on them. But I still pick the Bucks.
I will say that's the one thing about this formatting, that without the actual home court, I feel like it's leveled a lot of the playing field as far as like
absolutely.
Who's good,
You don't got the crowd behind you,
Nope.
You don't got the crowd, against the other team. So yeah, it's kind of taking that element away, and home cooking is a thing. So you going, especially in basketball, because basketball largely is a sport of momentum, and you could argue almost any team sport is, but. Basketball more so than anything, you come down court, you could be down by 20, and you come down court, in today's game, it's like you could put up 3 or 4 threes, get that crowd active, have like a good dunk kind of a play or whatever, it's the other team is forced to take a timeout because it's just like, nah, man, they got the juice right now. We kind of have to stave it. You know what I'm saying? Once that adrenaline gets pumping, that 20-point deficit can be down to 7 or 8 in a matter of 3 or 4 times up the court. But just looking at the matchups, man, the Bucks and Magic, like I said, I predict the Bucks to come out of that. I think, if the Magic don't make a stop tonight, then yeah, gentleman's sweep 4-1. Pacers in the Heat.
Hold on. Let's get the teams that already played 3 games already. So Raptors Nets. It's 3-0 Raptors.
Yeah, okay. I think that's pretty unanimous what's going to happen there. I think it's surprising how good the Raptors are without Kawhi. No,
I guess so. Yeah, I mean,
they're also playing the Nets, who don't have any of their star talent on the court right now. So,
and supposedly Nurkic is one of the better in-game coaches in the league.
Okay.
Next up, Nuggets Jazz.
Yep.
Jazz up 2-1. And bust their ass yesterday. It wouldn't be close.
Nope.
But they did cover. They did hit the over.
Yes.
My homeboy.
Did you have some money on the game or something?
No, it was funny to me because I went to like the little cigar bar yesterday, and one of the guys that I associate with over there, when he came in, he was like pissed because like it was a blowout. But at that point, he was like, I had the over. I don't think they're going to make it now. And I was like, so what's the over? I was 210. I was like, and at that point, I was like, man, it's still early. You may get it. But I see why.
Got about 1 point.
Yeah. But they still got the over. I would say this. The kid, what's the kid that went to Missouri that the Nuggets have?
Yeah, I don't fucking
Porter. That kid is pretty good, man. If he comes into his own, they could be dangerous in the next 2 years.
Yeah, 7 points ain't gonna do it though.
Michael Porter?
Yeah, 7 points ain't gonna do it. Not against the Jazz.
Yeah, I give you that, but talent wise, there's certain things he do when I watch him on the court. If he gets that dog in him,
he better find it.
Yeah,
he better find it quick because you're about to be out the first round now.
So I would say moving on to the next one, which is the most disappointing.
Yes.
Boston and 76ers. I think the experiment, the Ben Simmons, what's the boy name? Embiid experience is over.
Yeah.
One of them got to go.
Yeah, they're going to have to break up the team. I'm interested to see their contracts because if their contracts are, if either of them are coming up on like an extension year or something like that, I think they'll blow up the team. I think Simmons will be the one to go. I think you could build around Embiid a little bit better. Simmons is he's got some pretty jarring shortcomings with his shooting.
That's your opinion, and I guess the opinion from all the quote unquote sports experts is going the other way.
I don't see how. I mean, neither of them fit this league really right now.
So I guess that's why.
But Embiid is a better fit than in my opinion, than Simmons.
I guess what they're saying from the Simmons aspect is you can get shooters around him, and then he can just do his thing about driving to the basket or, having that game, which kind of butts heads against Embiid whenever he's down there. Embiid has to play out around the 3-point line when he's in the game because that's basically the only way Ben gets go. Either fast breaks or going to the basket. But Ben also has the, that passing ability, which if he got shooters, that still kind of works in the league. But
I can make that argument for both of them, but I could say that if you put Simmons on a team of shooters, is that I just don't see that as working as well. I see the Embiid kind of aspect looking like like the not Lakers, the Magic when Dwight was there, and that's basically how they dominated the game. I mean, they had 3 guys between Nelson, Turkoglu, and Rashard Lewis, that'll light your ass up from the outside, and then if you don't guard the 3 ball, then they dump it into Dwight. It's kind of how I see it. So it's, to me, that's a more proven, I think, approach than having a slashing point guard who.
I think the only caveat to that is, not Ben. Embiid. Well, I can't say
Come on,
that.
man. Joel. Like,
Joel.
His name ain't hard, man.
Yeah, it ain't. It's just slipping my mind. But
he just got a shoe deal. Shout out to him.
He yes.
Yes.
Yeah, Under Armours.
A part of his game is the 3-point line, though.
Yeah, and I was gonna say that because you said he's inside, but I see him out the perimeter all the time, so he can spread the floor as well. But it's I don't like him out there, but it's not as comfortable as AD, but he can spread the floor. He can spread it maybe around the range of Pau Gasol had, maybe a little bit inside, a foot or two inside that. But I personally think you keep Embiid and get rid of Simmons, but that's me.
Before we move on to the next one, let's just recap real quick. So Toronto up 3-0 on the Nets. You think that's a sweep?
Yes.
I agree. Nuggets Jazz. Jazz up 2-1. Where do you think that's gonna go?
6. Jazz. 4-2. Boys got too much, man. They can't do nothing. They got 4 players that at any given time could give you 20 to 30.
Yeah. I'm trying to get myself off of, like, yesterday kind of make me feel like a gentleman's sweep for the Jazz.
That's possible. I typically go more conservative, though.
I'm with you on the Jazz, and like 4-2, I want to, but I just like, man, they look so, like, bruh, goddamn Nuggets look horrible, guys.
Yeah, so I mean, that's what I'm saying is I don't say their worst is their typical. I say their worst is kind of.
Right, so yeah, we go. I agree with you on that 4-2, and then another. Oh, we gonna call it a sweep for the 76ers, baby?
Yes.
Yeah.
Simmons ain't even playing no more, so yeah, they're out.
Bro, that's crazy, bro.
So it was fun though. I mean, the boys tried, but I mean, you get no production. Like, they got no production from the bench. They got one guy that gave them 9 points. Everybody else, Horford gave you 6. Like, you can't. It's just not gonna work. He gave you some rebounds though, 10 rebounds, 6 points, but that's not enough. Embiid gave you 30. So they literally have. Where is it? Harris gave you 15. So if they had. I can't even say if they had Simmons out there, it would be better because he would give you, between 15 to 25. He could go off for a little more, but I think that's typical. They really don't gain that much benefit by having him on the court. You got Horford, who's not really producing, and then no production from your bench. So, yeah, they're out. They're out, and the team's getting broken up, and, it is what it is.
I guess the best series on the first night, which is the Clippers Mavericks. Clippers took it last night, 2-1. They're up 2-1.
Yep.
But they haven't shown a real propensity to stop your boy. Not
Who you talking, man? You talking
not
Porzingis or
not
you
Porzingis.
talking
Doncic, yeah.
Well, I mean, he held him to 13 last night. So,
Okay.
Yeah. He shot terribly from the free throw line, too.
And they only beat him by 8.
Yeah, he shot.
So,
I guarantee.
Yes.
Let me see. I guarantee he missed more than 8 free throws because he was. It said all stats and it does not show. Here we go. 4 for 10. So every free throw. I think he made 1 free throw when I was watching before I fell asleep. So I saw him make 1 free throw, and he literally. I think that was the last free throw it was a 3-pointer he got fouled on. And brick the first, brick the second. I'm just like, is this like he's really having a night where because the commenters were saying, is it commenters or commentators? Commentators were saying he's not having a good night from the charity stripe. I'm like, that can't be true. And then just to see him just rimming out these free throws on the 3-point foul is like, okay, maybe he isn't. So 4 for fucking 10, 40% from the line. That's crazy. Yeah, you're not gonna beat the Clippers doing that. You need those points. This is an interesting series.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah.
I think they match up very well. Well, let me not say match up. They don't match up well, but they offset each other's like strengths and weaknesses. So where you got dominant like 2 and 3 guards on the Clippers, or you should, if Paul George can hit a shot, you should be dominant 2-3 there. But then the Mavericks are dominant 1 and 4. So they don't really have an answer for Doncic. They don't have an answer for Porzingis. They just don't. And then Mavericks don't have an answer for Kawhi or for Paul George. Again, if Paul George was playing, up to I think the top of his the height of his ability, which I think he's been a bit shy.
What you think about the bit of the dust up with him and his tweets? I mean, I guess IG post about why are you fucking worried about me?
To Dame?
No, he I guess people
or Chuck.
No, he was I think it was just to anyone in general. I think people were like asking him like what's going on, what happened, and he was like, I guess I could pull that up.
No, you don't have to. That's an emotional response because motherfucker, you have a signature shoe line with Nike. Like people look at you to be a great player, and I like Paul George, right? People consider you one of the greats in the league, and you scored 11 points, which is 11, right? I mean, you're on the board, right? But you're a starter. Shamet scored 18. You literally were outscored by 6 people, 5 or 6 people on this team, and you're supposedly the second option. That's why. When the second option is 6th in the line of production, that's why people are wondering what's going on. And we know he's had issues health-wise with the shoulder, with the compound fracture in his leg from all that. So he's been banged up quite a bit. But it's just if you're not gonna come out and draw attention to some of that, then people are wondering what the hell's going on. It's not rocket science. So you shouldn't be inquiring about that. You also need to stop texting Dame because that don't make it look no better. You texting this guy like, you on equal playing fields with him. He out here dropping 50 and 60 and shit like that. And the chasm is wide right now, my brother. It's not even close. So
yeah, Dame shows up and for all intents and purposes, Dame shows up
in this series and in the games right before the
series.
series.
Even the one that we swept him on, he showed up. It's just the other people didn't.
Yeah, but I can argue that the year where the Warriors knocked him out, he didn't really.
Okay, I'll give you that.
I give you that.
It didn't seem like it. It seemed like he.
As well as he performed against OKC.
Yeah, I was about to say it felt like he got he was exhausted from that series.
Yep. All right, man. So let's run through it. I don't want to belabor it.
Bucks Magic today.
Who calls him that? Match? Come on, man. Give us our 2 syllables, man.
Magic.
All right. I think Bucks are going to take that.
Gentleman sweep?
I would kind of expect that. But again, it matters. If the Magic don't show up today, then yeah, they're out of here 4-1. Pacers, I think the Heat will take that. I think they'll sweep them.
Sweep it? Okay.
Yeah. Rockets, Thunder. I think Rockets should sweep them.
I think I'm going to say gentleman sweep. I think the Thunder going to get one.
We'll see. Shout out to Chris Paul and all these HBCU shoes.
Yeah.
And shirts. I'm waiting for the fam you love, though. Like, what's up?
SU, baby.
What's up? Van Lathan. Van motherfucking Lathan. How dare you put FAMU that far down on the list, my brother? The disrespect that is shown from, damn near neighboring states, man. I just can't believe it. You know what I'm saying? And I won't get off topic, but Van Lathan, this podcast has beef with you. One half of this podcast has beef with you right now, my brother. You know what I'm saying? Keeping with it, Lakers Trailblazers. That was the other disappointment you were speaking about earlier. Blazers beat the Lakers game 1. I don't think that was expected by a lot of people. But
well, I mean, your boy Chuck was talking about it for about a week. Chuck say they gonna win.
Yes.
Now, if you base it off of the Lakers' performance in the bubble, I would say, yeah, that's not so much a hot take. I think a lot of people look at the Lakers based off of who they are on paper and in their performance early on in the league, in the season. So you got LeBron, you got AD, arguably 2 of the top, I'll say 10 in the league right now. Obviously, LeBron is top 5, but AD, I think he falls out of that ring a little bit.
Yeah.
But 2 top 10 players on the team, plus some pretty decent supporting cast members. You would expect them. They're number 1 in the West. They had the best record, so you'd expect them to kind of be a dominant force. But for whatever reason, they're not necessarily gelling. They're not, firing all cylinders. They weren't in alignment in that first game. The second game, they looked better. I'll say that. They did look better. They had a dominant victory over the Blazers. I think part of that is just the Blazers didn't look good as well in that game. Like, for whatever reason, they didn't look like they were gelling. They were, kind of all over the place, missing some easy inside shots that normally I think they hit. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting, man. It's hard to do a heat check on this team when their performances it's like they'll have a great game where it's like I don't see who could stop them, and then they'll have another game where it's like, well, shit, that's wide open right there. AD's got to be aggressive. He just has to play aggressive. The last game he was showing the footwork and the ball handling skills. And some games I just don't see that. I always hear that like advertised with his brand, but some games it's like he seems like he wants to be like a kind of spot up shooter, and I'm just like, another fucking 7-footer outside the 3-point line. Like, all right, it's cool if you're hitting shots, but if you're not hitting the shots, then it's like, what else do you have? Where are the other dimensions to your game? So I think he's gotta literally be willing to come out and hit the floor, and whatever's working for him, he's got to be able to adjust on the fly.
I've been telling you since we started hanging out about him. He just ain't got no dog in him, man. Like, every night ain't gonna be there. That's his problem.
Well, they gonna need it because Dame has a dog.
Talent, he got it. It's just sometimes you gotta have a dog in you, and he just don't, man. That's why he needs someone like a LeBron to have.
I can make the same argument for LeBron though, but all right, touche.
But at any rate, I guess you got the Lakers going. What? Gentleman sweep or 4-2? You going 7?
If it goes 7, I got the Blazers. I'm not even gonna lie to you. If it goes 7, I got the Blazers because the way I hear folks talking about Dame from that I think it was a game with the Nets, I want to say, where they had the 2 players mic'd up on the side, and I forget their names right now. I didn't watch the clip right here, but dude was like, "Hey, if Dame got the ball, you need to pick him up from half court." And the guy was like, "That's not even my man." He was like, "I don't give a damn." He said, "Your man back there, Dame got the ball over there. He gonna pull it from the logo," and he's been doing that. He's been, I think, I heard Skip say he was 13 feet behind the 3-point line. So, and we grew up in the era where if you took a shot 3 feet behind the 3-point line, that was considered like a bad shot. You know what I'm saying?
And deep.
Yeah, a deep 3 was 3 feet. Kobe kind of ushered in some of that. Shooting from that the inbounds line at the hash mark and stuff, and that might be 6 or 7 feet. Dame pulling up from the logo, dog, and confidently. You know what I mean? So when you got a player like that can stretch the floor that much, that can give you a 3 ball where the defense ain't even trying to contest the shot, it's going to be hard to beat them, especially with such a big team. Lakers is a big team. Them boys, they don't want to run like that. You know what I'm saying? You spread the floor like that much where you got to contest them damn near at half court, a quick, a couple passes, and you're winning on defense.
Yeah, I'm missing your boy Bradley and Rondo.
Yep.
Those 2 would really help.
Yep. The 2 arguably probably best conditioned players on that team. That, they're not so big to where it takes loads of energy. You're not 7 feet. You're not,
6'9".
Yeah. So it's 6'9", 260, 270, right? So it ain't just about the height. It's also the weight component.
Yeah. I was thinking more like, that's the obvious person, but I was thinking more like Kuz. Because even him just...
Yeah, he's tall, but he's lanky. So even... I'll give you that. But it's like... It's different when you're the same height, but I got 50 pounds on you, right? Trying to run, again, you spreading the floor that much to cover a pass, right? Or to cover the double. Like if you double team them, right? Look where you got to pick them up at and where you got to recover to is what I'm saying. So If it goes 7, I pick the Blazers, but I want to say Lakers should get them out of here in 6. So we will see.
All right. Next up, we're going to talk a little college football, but really high level. Since our last episode,
Really high level.
2 conferences have decided to cancel the season, potentially play in the spring.
Pac-12.
My beloved SWAC is also going to play in the spring, shall I say. But it's Pac-12 and, Big Ten, then shortly thereafter the Pac-12 follows suit. Still, Big 12, SEC, and ACC, along with a few others. I think the AAC is moving forward. I think the Sun Belt, the Conference USA is moving forward as well. A few others. But I believe 60% of the teams in the FCS have not playing this fall. But at any rate, they've said that they are going to follow certain, rules and procedures. I know for a fact. Well, what most of the conferences is saying that they're going to be tested 3 times a week. But unlike, I guess, the NBA, it's not going to be a bubble situation. Although, with some of the campuses going to online now because of recent spikes or what they call it, spread on campus, they move to online.
This is all flawed. Okay.
But with all that said, I guess the question has been asked, should they be playing in the first place?
No, they shouldn't, because I'll say this. I'll start high level, right? We say high level. NCAA football keeps the lights on a lot of these organizations, right? Mm-hmm. So as far as the governing, setting the governing standards and how some of these schools and organizations should conduct themselves, NCAA should have had some guidelines that rolled out to the conferences, and the conferences are required to maintain and uphold. That's how I see it. Given that, again, they keep the lights on for a lot of these schools and for a lot of the other sports programs at these schools. So they should have just took the lead, and when the NBA was talking bubbles, they should have been right behind. I think they should have been a close second with, hey, this is what we're going to do in the fall. Now they've kind of let it run too long and kind of left the decision-making up to the conferences and the schools themselves.
Well, I think most of that is true as far as like for football, but like fall sports, they also said nothing starting to January, and that, I guess, some people some of the basketball programs and coaches are a little upset because they feel like they can kind of bubble as well. They have a better situation to bubble. Because a lot of times I think they're saying most of the institutions have said that if the kids were on campus, when they sent them home for Thanksgiving, they wouldn't have came back anyway. And so they was like, at that point, we could have our bubble and we could start our season and it'd just be us on the campus for a month and a half, almost 2 months. Yeah,
but there's still an assumption there, and even to keep it on the NCAA football,
there's a lot of assumptions going on.
Yeah, to keep it with NCAA football is that, all right, well, your season is they're in online classes, but like my little cousin just went off to college to play football. He's on campus. Like, students are on campus. It's just online classes. You think they ain't linking? Come on, there's no. I get the the gesture and what they're trying to say is like, hey, we're gonna take care of the players and all that, but students are going to socialize. Mm-hmm. As much as I hate to say that, and they may wear masks and sanitize, they have the holster, hand sanitizer at the door and whatever, but they're going to mingle. That's part of college. That's largely a part of the college experience, is that social interaction. It's going to happen. And they don't have a good answer on how to contain that. Again, because I think they waited too long to put something in motion. I think they were kind of, gambling that this will all clear up by then. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But rather than saying if it doesn't, what's our contingency plan? Like the contingency should have been if it clears up, right? Is how I look at it. It should have been we're going to plan for the worst, and then if it clears up, hey, we'll roll out this plan. They didn't do that, so now you're getting conferences that are backing out. If you're a Big Ten or Pac-12, alumni or fan of those conferences, then your teams ain't playing this year, and it's
they may play in the spring. They're talking about maybe in the spring. In that instance,
but then but I guess what I'm saying is like that defeats it kind of like if your team does exceptionally well in those conferences, like there's always a possibility of them competing against like another dominant team from another conference, right? And if you don't, and you say, hey, we're going to postpone to the spring, then you potentially miss out on some of that competition to be able to prove that, hey, like we can beat an LSU or we can beat a team like,
they get their shot at SC in the Pac-12.
Yes.
So I guess that's what I'm getting at is that, if you're not going to have teams, playing unanimously like across the board, then that's kind of some of the allure to me with college football is that this team that I'm not even watching them, right? But there's a potential chance that if they have a breakout year that we might have to address them at some point in time, right?
For you guys, that like a lot of people are trying to make it say that, this would be the best time for you guys to be able to get into like the Final Four. Like this would be the best argument for it. At least that's what they're trying to.
Yeah, but then they're just gonna put an asterisk on it anyway. So I don't. They always try to put an asterisk on it anyway, right? It is what it is, right? The playoff structure in NCAA football, is controversial. I'll say that. I won't give my opinion on it or whatever, but it's controversial. It's been controversial for some time.
What do you mean? As far as like who's invited?
Yeah, like there's always discussions every year about who should be ranked where and power rankings and all this stuff. And it's not just based off of wins and losses is what I'm getting at. There's all these other variables that go into it where you can argue the subjectivity of those variables. So I just think that this is kind of it's a broken play. You know what I mean? This was supposed to be shotgun, but they broke the line and now we scramble it. Now it's we'll get what we can get out of it, right? We can get some positive yardage out of it. They stick with the football analogy kind of, but I think this should have been, I think they should have been more. It should have been a more offensive, I think, approach to this season rather than kind of saying, hey, let's see what happens and then we'll decide later. I think they should have. This is the plan going forward. Kick this out to all the schools, all the conferences, make them conform, and we'll go there.
Well, the problem is the NCAA doesn't really run college football.
I get that.
Like, they don't.
They got leverage. No, they have.
They have leverage, but they don't run it. You know what I'm saying? Like for instance, they wouldn't be able to shut down a championship like they did, like the tournaments. They wouldn't be able to do that. It'll be on like the ESPNs and the conferences to do that, to shut it down, because they ain't getting no money off that, at least nothing direct. But logistically, it's, to kind of go back to like the spring thing, I find that interesting because I'm into college sports and particularly football, so I watch a few like podcasts or sports shows that talk about, kind of intricacies of recruiting and all that. And one of the things that's came up over the last, I guess, month or so since they started talking about potentially playing in the spring is that some of like the mid-season graduates, recruits, could play in the spring, right? Now, ordinarily, I wouldn't, this wouldn't check, I wouldn't think like, oh boy, what happened to the other people? Because usually in the spring, a number of people go to the draft, especially like the bigger schools like the Ohio States, the Michigans, the Notre Dames of the world. Like they're gonna have 8-7 scholarships the guy went at the end of the fall semester, he started training for the draft. So you got that scholarship to where they can come in and use it. But if they don't play this fall and the seniors want to play, well, how, and that's more in the weeds, but where is that scholarship going to come from? A lot of people try to say that those guys will be able to play in the spring, and I'm like, I'm sure they'll make a way for it, but someone's going to have to lose their scholarship.
Well, you said high level, and you done got down to scholarship funding for individual players that graduated. And hold on, don't step on my joke. You said high level, and you over here concerned about the money, scholarship money for the seniors who graduated in December.
No. They graduate in May technically, but usually there's a few though that leave early. So you automatically, you typically you only get maybe 7 or 8.
Okay,
a low number.
The joke still stands. Well, that is a very specific situation that you are concerned about.
But now a lot of those guys are probably gonna want to play. So it's just, I don't know. I just thought that was interesting on that piece. But, as far as whether or not they should play, I mean, I want to see them play. I mean, I do really want to see them play. I mean, but that's
I want to see them play too.
That's my bias.
But I don't want to. I don't want it to be at the.
If they can be safe, there you go. I want to see him play.
Like I said, my little cousin just went off, man, to play at a school. Not a big D1 school, but it's a school nonetheless. I'm proud of him. And and I want him to play, but I don't want it to be at a detriment to his health. You know what I'm saying? I want them to maintain some integrity of how they can monitor and protect these kids, these athletes during the season. When the season's over, then all right, live your life, right? You're a college student. You still got workouts and stuff like that, but you can maybe be a little more lax, and maybe you can't. I don't know the answer, but I think that again, NCAA should have had some type of input to the conferences, to the schools, to kind of prepare them for that, to where they would be equipped to do so. And it just seemed anybody, I don't care who it came from, the conferences could have sent it to NCAA and said, "We think you guys should do this," right? I didn't see anybody do that in a time where it would have been where you had time to plan and to kind of work out the kinks with the testing and what we're going to do, the schedule. And now I think we're kind of behind the 8 ball, and it's coming at a cost to potential players' health and so forth. So
I just think it's probably the same. They ran into the same issue that like the professional sports ran into, which was back in April, May. They was telling them by July it was going to be gone. So that was the kind of like the understanding, like, all right, the next 3 months are going to be tough, but July, August we'll be back to normal. And
I don't know who they was talking to, but
niggas
canceled Carabana in March. Carabana was canceled early.
Well,
I knew early to not finish paying for this plane ticket to Toronto. So I don't know what specialist the Carabana planning committee was talking to. But I'm almost certain that the NFL and the NCAA got better resources than them, and they had equal access to the same people. I don't know. But if big events like that, they've been canceling festivals and all that stuff all over the place all year. So I don't get that. That's what I'm saying. Like, the plan should have been if it doesn't. It shouldn't have been if it does.
Okay.
I just think that was a flawed approach to it.
I would say the one difference is all these sports can happen without fans, but Carabana basically can't happen without a crowd of people. So in that instance, the liability just to make any money is too high. You might as well go ahead and cut bait and
Did you see the price that they were charging for hotels and shit?
And hope that. But still, you would still be liable for if there was an outbreak. I mean,
I don't,
especially like the organizers.
I don't disagree, but I just.
But I get your point.
I get the planning was the approach to planning was backwards. It was ass backwards in my opinion. Mm-hmm. Again, plan for the worst, and then if you have better results, more favorable results, then you can start letting go of lesser, the lower priority items, right? They didn't do that. So now as a result, there's all this confusion, and I think they established a date where the conferences kind of have to let them know if they're going to play or not. But This should have already been cleared up, in my opinion.
Okay.
Should be clear.
All right. Well,
What else you got for sports, man?
that's it.
No, you supposed to. Yeah, come on, man.
That's it, baby.
No, come on, man.
What you want? What you got?
Come on, man. We got to talk about how Roy Jones gonna get knocked out.
Oh.
Right after Thanksgiving dinner.
Well, Roy George saying he may walk away if he don't get paid more. Huh? That's the latest I heard. He's like it's supposed to happen in September. He's ready in September.
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree with him. They pushed it. You know, if they're gonna push it to November to, I think it's the day. It might be Thanksgiving night.
I think so. 28.
Yeah, if they're gonna push it to that night, then I mean, yeah, you're gonna have a bigger draw. I think you're gonna have more people available to tune in because obviously it's a holiday weekend. You got
Nick Nurse must have won Coach of the Year.
All right, shout out to him. Nigga could have picked a better time to win than in the middle of my shit.
Yes.
How dare you win when I'm talking about Thanksgiving? But no, I think they'll have a bigger, pot of money, to be paid out from. So yeah, I'm with him. Yeah, he should get paid more. Tyson should get paid more. He should get paid more. Everybody should get paid more. But hands down, Tyson gonna win that fight.
He should.
He is.
He should.
See Tyson hitting the pads, man.
Yeah, man. I mean, but at the same time, Jones won't. The pads don't move. Jones moves a little bit.
Jones do this one time.
Hey,
his
man.
head coming off. Is what I'm saying.
I agree with you. I think in all
Jones
intents and
do this.
All intents and purpose, he should lose
Tyson gonna fake stun. Jones gonna do this
because his power ain't heavyweight power. Tyson got heavyweight power, and yeah, he should win this one pretty easily. But
Jones, he fought heavyweight before though,
yeah,
right? He eventually got up there, but
that's because
he's not even a light heavyweight.
He was specific. Like you can almost say he Mayweathered it. Like he identified someone that he could beat that was a champion and challenged them.
Yeah,
and basically pointed them out. You know what I'm saying? Got one more round. I don't think he even dropped that guy, Ruiz. But I would say this: the only reason why I approached the subject from the Tyson should win is whenever Tyson does fight someone that can box well, he usually has problems. And if Jones go in there with a mindset that I'm going to box him, that usually frustrates Tyson. And I'm pretty sure of this. If I'm not mistaken, Jones is a longer boxer than him. So like he still has to kind of get up under and get to him.
Yeah.
So,
but Tyson struggles with taller.
Exactly, but especially if they want to box
outside of his prime, that is, because in his prime it didn't matter what.
Especially if they want to box. I mean, you could argue Buster Jones was in his prime. Buster Jones put him on his behind.
Yes.
Now, granted, my man was out there whoring up a storm. I mean, man, say that man was having all types of orgies while he was training out there, bro. That nigga did not have any respect for Buster Douglas.
I mean, I don't know.
And he was he was having his fun with them Japanese women.
No comment.
Yes.
I'm out for the snitch on Tyson. The last person I want to. Is that snitching?
That's out there.
Is that snitching? Somebody that called Meg The Stallion a snitch. Let me know if that was snitching.
I was like 9 years old when that happened. The only way I know about that is because it's just common knowledge.
Yeah, I'm unfamiliar with the terminology you're using right now.
Hey, whatever I said is out there. He did it. He owns up to it. He was like, man, I wasn't focused.
Well, there you go. But so what do you think about this fight in its entirety? I mean, it's not like a Showtime or HBO sponsored.
I mean, it ain't something that I was looking for. It's just more of a.
Well, you weren't looking for it because it's never really happened before, so you didn't know the possibilities existed of a midlife, post. I'll say not even post prime, but just like just non-active boxers fighting. Because boxers fight when they're past their prime. I mean, that happens.
Yep.
But it's like once they've kind of gone away from the sport for 5-10 years, you typically don't see them come back to it, right? So, I mean, what's your reaction? I mean, how do you feel about it?
I mean,
no nostalgia is coming back, man. You're not excited to see Tyson in the ring again, Jones in the ring?
Not really.
That's crazy.
Tyson maybe, but not Jones. Jones been getting his ass whooped of lately. He been getting, and Jones was sort of like my Tyson, like when I was able to go to a fight, although I didn't go, but like that was the one where it was like, man, I wish I could go to Vegas and watch him fight, you know, because like Tyson was when I was a child, basically, you know what I'm saying? That was 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years old. And then Jones was like right there in my high school age, and like, man, and he
seemed invincible.
Yes, for a while. And so they were kind of like my guys, like Tyson and Jones were like the two best that I saw growing up. And while Tyson, I feel like, you know, I feel better for Tyson than I do Jones. I don't want to see Jones in the ring no more.
All right. Man, I'm excited for this fight, man. Be honest with you. Like, I kind of share the same sentiments from you, but, you know, these two were, you know, playing like fight night and all that stuff. I mean, these are the two cats that I was always excited to pick, man. You know, Tyson was usually like a special character. Jones, you could get him, you could unlock him and all that. But I agree. I mean, it was always like Tyson, Holyfield, Jones, and Mayweather. Those were like the four almost untouchables, you know what I mean? So I was excited to see it announced. I wasn't expecting it. I wasn't looking for it, you know.
I mean, I guess you should have when Tyson started saying he wanted to fight.
Yeah, but even then, it's like I just hear that as kind of like even what Shaq do, you know, on a daily basis, which is, oh, in my day, you know, I get out there and I can still run with these guys. That's kind of how I heard that. I didn't really take Tyson.
No, you can't, big man.
Yeah, I didn't really take Tyson seriously, like, or I didn't have any expectations of anything to come out of that. But
I think after
I'm excited, man.
When to bring up what you said earlier about the bag, once I saw that, I was like, this nigga's serious.
Tyson in a different place, man. Tyson gonna come in that mug zenned out. He gonna have some green tea.
Tyson said he don't like how that makes him feel, man.
Green juice.
He brings out the beast.
Man, come on. And I still wouldn't take that dare that we used to offer everybody back in elementary school. Get in the ring with Tyson for 6 minutes.
Would you last 6 minutes?
No. The answer is no. No, you would not. The ring is not big enough. I want a ring 6 times the size. And then I'm just going, and then you still probably wouldn't last. The amount of cardio that these guys do, you can't jog away from Tyson for 6 minutes.
And then, you know, they know angles. They know how to cut down the ring.
Yeah. You can't keep away from Tyson for 6 minutes. And if he gets you at a body shot, you're gonna take 3 steps away and it's just gonna collapse.
Yeah. Like
that's it.
And that's the disrespectful one. When they hit you in the body and they know it hurt, that's just being disrespectful.
Because it's like
I could have hit you in your face, but I want you to stand up.
No, it's because they want to hit you in the face. It's like you're not gonna take too many more of these kidney shots without bringing that arm down. And when you bring that arm down, you know what's coming after that. So, but we were all very ludicrous. Elementary and middle school kids talk about, I get in the ring with Tyson. You let Tyson punch you in the face for $1 million. Like, no, I will not. I wouldn't then, and I will not now. I will not on the 28th of November. Roy Jones, he getting $1 million for it, so he's a better man than me. So,
is he getting $1 million?
I don't know what he's getting, but I assume it's going to be
well, obviously, he wants more money, though.
Yeah, hopefully he get it, man. He deserves it. All them boys should get paid more, like I said, as a result of moving it. So, that's all I got, man.
All right, man. You already said Tyson.
Tyson is winning this, hands down.
All right, man. Well, next up, a little politics. DNC Convention was last week. Thoughts?
I ain't watching none of that shit.
Me neither, man.
When I saw you sitting that the other day, I'm like, God damn, like, let me try to catch up on this shit. And I looked at it, and I'm like, okay, day 1.
I refuse to
3 hours.
I refuse to watch it.
Day 2, 2.5 hours. I'm just like, ain't nobody got the recap?
I'm like, I'm beyond that, man. I'm just ready to get this Joker out, man. I don't need the rah-rah speech. I'm ready to vote.
So what I did think was interesting about that stemmed from the DNC was that for every like mega like personality they had that did these kind of monologue speeches or whatever, coincidentally, these random pictures or videos from past speeches or talking engagements.
So I saw the Bill Clinton one.
Surfaced.
What else? Who else got hit with it? I saw Bill Clinton.
Bill Clinton, second floor Tootsie getting shoulder rubs.
Yeah.
By a young lady who was allegedly, involved in the Epstein scandal.
So I let you finish, but I would say this. The one thing that I will say that the argument could be is, now, if you watch the documentary on him, Epstein, that's the one that said they paid for her to be a masseuse.
Yeah.
All she was doing was being a masseuse.
I understand. So I'm not.
Hey, where there's smoke, there's fire. So
I'm not saying there's nothing. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with what Bill was doing. I'm just saying it's funny that as Bill comes to the forefront and he's like, hey, I endorse so and so or whatever. Then it's like they're basically, what do they call it? Mudslinging.
Yeah,
that's the political term.
The day after.
Yeah, and they're like, oh, is this a credible guy? Because here's a picture of him with Epstein. This infamous, notorious, sex trafficker, pedophile, all these other things, right? And here's old Wild Bill, old Slick Willie right next to him getting a massage from a woman who was a known, employee. I'll say that to keep it on the up and up of Epstein, right?
I say victim as well. She would probably say.
I'm going off of what you just said. You just said they hired the girl and paid her to,
Well, I mean,
the young lady.
She still said she was taken advantage of, though.
Oh, goddamn.
But like I said, she was giving a massage. It looked like she was massaging his shoulders. She is a masseuse.
Second floor Tootsie getting shoulder rubs.
She is a masseuse.
Shout out to Drizzy.
But hey,
that's not where this massage took place either.
No.
But so there's that. Michelle Obama. She had hers, and then surfaced a speech of her saying how nice of a guy Harvey Weinstein was, and he's a good friend, and all this and all that. So it's I think they're strategically leaking these videos, and that was kind of my takeaway from this. Is that okay? They're doing a lot to attack the character and the. I don't want to say mystique, but just the kind of high regards to which we hold these a couple of folks that were, again, kind of high profile personalities that are, had these big monologues that were in support of Kamala and Joe Biden. So I thought that was interesting. I did not watch the any of the DNC any days of. I think it was 4 days.
Yeah. So
I wasn't able to watch any of it. And again, when I tried to get the recap, I was hoping I would be able to get like a 10, 15, 20-minute recap video or something. I wasn't successful in finding any of those. I was only everything seemed like the ones that were 10, 15 minutes, they were more so people giving their opinion. They weren't saying like, hey, this person showed up. This was a highlight from their speech. It was just people kind of talking like how we are right now and not really providing any facts, but more opinion. So that's that.
I mean, I'm just tired. I'm ready. Like, I don't need the convention. I need to
open
vote.
the polls.
I want you to let me vote.
Have you seen the lines? Did you see the lines this past week?
No. For what? Voting?
Yeah.
No, I didn't. I didn't leave my house much, man.
I was driving to work the other day, man. I thought it was like a pileup or something. I was like, damn, somebody slammed on the brakes and got everybody. But it was, I'd say at least a mile worth of cars backed up. You ain't even in the parking lot. That's just the cars, spilling out. You take imagine cars just backed up on Palm Beach Lakes and then, turned off on the Okeechobee. You know what I'm saying? From let's say that stoplight, right? right there past Peaks in the
Okay.
Walgreens. So from there up to Okeechobee, and then you just see a line busting right on Okeechobee. I'm like, okay, so maybe it is, maybe it is true what they say. Them boys out here making it difficult for people to vote, man, putting them, I don't know, because if you like me, I was on the way to work, man, and I'm like, if I saw this line, like, ain't no way I'm finna pull in here to vote.
It's always about early voting for me. I don't try to vote on the day. I try to vote before. Usually, it's easier to get in.
Yeah.
And get out.
Yeah, well, that's good advice, man. People might need to hear that, man, because when I saw that, I'm like, if I got to be to work and you telling me it's like a mile to even drive the car in the lot.
And you usually can do it like on a Saturday, too. So you just be like, just go in there on a Saturday, bust up in there, maybe a couple people in there.
Yeah.
Boom, 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 you out.
So there you hear it, folks, man. Early vote, man. Vote early. Don't wait till the day
Yes.
Avoid the lines, avoid the frustrations. Just get out there and vote early next time. Or mail in ballots.
Yes.
Mail in ballots, man. You vote from the comfort of your couch.
I mean, and your postmaster general said he's not going to change any of the services now. They revert back to the old way of doing things.
There you go.
We'll see.
There you go. All right, man. So, what else?
Next up, we're going to talk a little bit of Trey songs.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let me know in the comments if that was a good one.
So over the last, I guess, week and a half or so,
Trigger.
allegations have arise or been made of past acts of Trey songs.
Plural allegations, or is it just that one?
Allegations.
One from Miami. Oh, okay.
Allegations. Well, I put it like this. So there was that one, and then there was another girl. I think she's a country singer, BB something, BB Riots. Forget her name, but she's a pretty popular, I think, country singer. And she mentioned an incident that she had as well with him, but she was kind of like joking about it, but it happened.
What was her recount of the?
Well, I think what they were trying to say, I think it came up that what the girl said on No Jumpers, and then she was like, she was like at a radio interview with some of her friends, and it was kind of like in a joking kind of way, but she was like, I have a story, but I don't think I should say it, and
fucking Adam 22, man, gonna be the new Vlad.
And then lo and behold, she kind of just like basically she was at a wedding, he was there with his date. She was going to, after the wedding, I guess they were kind of hanging out at the pool house, and at that point he had like taken his shirt off and kind of like forced a kiss, and was like, let's do this, and then she was like, no, I can't. He was like, I was just playing anyway, and then walked out.
My dog was playing, man. Clearly he had a date.
Well, I mean, but at the same time, there was a few, but that was with that one, and then you take into account, Kiki's encounter a few years ago.
Yep.
That I guess at the time, I mean, even with me,
The video shoot.
yeah, she, a lot of people didn't take it serious or were questioning her motives, to only kind of find out that more instances of what she claimed has happened. But these girls were like working girls, I would imagine.
Yeah, Kiki's. What was Kiki's? Hers was like,
she was
just
at a
being
house
like
party.
super pushy with it,
Yeah. Being on the video.
Yeah.
And she didn't want to be in it.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I just wanted to make sure I remembered. I wasn't misremembering.
What was sort of similar
word.
about it was she said that he took her phone, and in all in the instance with the girl he peed on.
Yes.
he took her phone too. Oh Lord, man, that's crazy, man. I don't. Well, you know what? We ain't gonna kink shame here.
I'm trying to. I'm like, man, can we edit in the Dave Chappelle song on this? I don't think we can make fun of that no more. I feel like, you know,
We ain't gonna keep
decided.
We ain't gonna keep shame no more, baby. You know, I just, you know, I thought that was kind of, you know, with that in light, I guess more people took, you know, was kind of looking back at what she said earlier, and it was like, well, maybe she had a little more, you know, because a lot of people, she went on like a couple shows and they kind of questioned it.
Yeah.
And she had to stand her ground. Like, you know, if I, you know, I'm not trying to tear him down. If I was trying to tear him down, I'd have done more. But, you know, in this instance, you know.
I think that, you know, I feel like every episode I have a moment where it's like, let me tell you what black women should do. I'm going to tell you.
Yes.
How black women should act right now. That's not what I'm saying here. I think sometimes when you have like arguments like that, or when you're trying to show somebody the fault and the behaviors and the ways of other people, you almost have to separate it from a person, right? Because people get defensive. People start taking things personally. They start, you know, their inherent biases start coming up. If somebody really likes Trey, and then you know, and not to make it about him in this situation, but anybody, pick anybody that you really like. And if somebody brings forth, you know, some unpleasant truths about them, I think it's fair to say that your initial reaction is probably going to be defensive of that person, right? And you know, and it's not the right response to have for somebody like, you know, Keke Palmer, her situation where she's basically saying like, hey, you're forcing a situation upon me that I didn't want to be a part of, right? And for her, she's probably got more than enough reasons, right? One, it could be she's also a personality herself. Am I getting paid for this? Like, okay, so off rip, you're asking for a cameo, right? That's going to better your image and your brand. You're going to come off and look a certain way in this. I'm not getting nothing out of it. So right there, nah. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, I'm here to support you, but I don't want to be in this because you're not going to use my brand to better yours. So I get her off rip right there. But all the other, you know, anything else that comes with it is that's just icing on the cake, right? But I think that when she frames it the way she framed it, like, it leaves room for people to kind of say like, oh, well, I know him and he's not like that, or whatever, right? And no, that's not my experience with him. And it makes it more about who they know the person to be and less about the behaviors the person exhibited. Whereas if she frames it as like, you know, like, let me ask you something, like, don't even mention the celebrity or whatever, and just say, you know, well, hey, let me ask you something. If you had a daughter, right, and they were on a set of this video, and then this person wanted to use their image and their likeness and their whatever, right, to their benefit, but didn't want to pay this person, and then after being told no, or whatever the case may be, this person just kept forcing themselves on your daughter, how would you feel about that, right? Then you separate the personality, and then you only see the behaviors and how the behaviors can be problematic, and then you take away all the bias, and then a person can either they're forced to let you know right then and there. If a person's being predatory with your daughter, do you support the person or do you support your daughter? Or whoever the person, the woman, right? And that is the black woman. Do you support the person forcing themselves upon the black Nubian queens, or do you support the black queens? You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And it makes it very clear in that instance. Yeah. But that was kind of my impression of that whole situation when it first arrived.
So I guess my perspective on it was, it just showed, at least in these two instances, two and a half instances.
2.5, two and a possible.
Yeah, two and a possible. Because like, you know, the country singer, you know, I don't know if I can really include that one in it, but I guess in both instances with the chicks that was on, I guess it was Selena or something, on No Jumper and Keke, they both mentioned that situation where he wouldn't let them go, and that's, you know, now you're starting to kind of see that's a behavior that he does, and or at least been allegedly does.
Yeah, on these two accounts. Yeah. Sure.
And, you know, it's just, I would have thought that after the first time, you would kind of know not to do that anymore?
Be careful with what I'm going to say. I think the problem.
Yeah, I'm trying to be careful too.
I think the problem, not the problem, but where it gets muddy, and it's not muddy, right? It's you shouldn't do that. If a person tells you no, drop it, leave it alone.
No means no.
But I think the part that is gray is that there are so many people that when you just apply a little more pressure, the no becomes a yes, right? Unfortunately, and I'm not, and you can say that's out for whatever reason. It can be out of duress. It can be out of, but that's the slippery slope of consent. Yeah, no, and absolutely. And as a dude, it's like I've seen so many Twitter threads or whatever where it's like, if a girl says no once, it's no for the rest of the night. And it's like there's been times where it's like, nah, I'm not feeling that, and I'm not speaking personally, or I'm not giving up names of who I'm speaking of. But it's times where it's like I can see how things progress over the night, and then it's like, so is he a bad guy for asking again? Because things that are different from clearly now than when they were at the beginning of the night, when like maybe an attempt might have been made. You know what I'm saying? Things happen, you know. People start gelling and maybe chemistry builds a little bit more. And it's like you ask again and then the yes is a yes then. So is that to say that, you know, some of those moments can't be genuine? That's where it gets scary for me, because it's like, you know, you ask once and it's like you told no, and then you ask again and you're told yes. And as a man, it's like, oh, I heard yes, so I thought I was good to proceed, and I thought that, hey, this is acceptable, because nobody's really ever stopped me flat and just said what you're doing is unacceptable. They said no, but a large percentage or some percentage has, you know, their response becomes a yes, just because, you know, you give them some time to think about it, you approach them again, whatever, right? It's a slippery slope, man. And you said that it's kind of scary for you, and I'm there with you, where it's like, I'm at this point, I'm just like, man, if the answer is no, then I don't even approach it. I don't even approach it again after that. Yeah,
I'm done. I'd be like, all right, well, you ready to go home?
Yeah, that's what it is, and it's, you know, well, all right, well, cool.
Because you ain't gonna get me on some. I told you no earlier.
Yeah, and that's the scary part for a man, and you know, ladies have to, you know, kind of be, you know, be somewhat empathetic, right, and just step in our shoes for a second, where it's like, you were told no, you approached the question again, you were told yes, but then if something happens in the future, right, then there's always a possibility where the story can say, where I said no, right, and that's what the story is led with. It's not I said no, but then we had fun and then it became a yes at some point. It's I said no, so it should have never been attempted again from there. And then it's, you know, then the man's vilified from there. Whereas, again, things can happen over time to where a no can become a yes. And it's just that whole area is gray. And the way the stories always play out is the no.
Yeah.
It's always just the no. It's like the scarlet letter that's given to a man is that she said no. Why did you continue this? And it's like, well, we were having a good time on the date. So it's like, you know, things happen. It seemed like we were enjoying ourselves, and, you know, maybe she gave a vibe that, hey, she was more comfortable with me, so I approached it again, right? Not to say that this is what the vibe that I'm getting from this. This one, again, seems kind of, unfortunately, force of habit.
Yeah.
It seems like, hey, he's.
I think the most troubling thing about it is the piece, that, you know, where they couldn't leave. That's the most troubling part.
Yeah, and I think that again kind of comes as a result of leveraging, you know, star power, and just, you said no now, but okay, you just stay here, and we'll see. Once the cameras get rolling, and that's not me, right? I ain't shot no music video, but once the cameras start rolling and the vibes start getting poured out and smoked up and stuff like that, right? Maybe a person becomes more comfortable in the environment. Kiki's story didn't seem that way to me. She seemed like she wasn't there partaking in nothing, and was just like, okay, I've already told you no, I wanna go now. And then, so that to me is a little bit different. But I think on some of these sets, I just think, you know, once a person gets, you know, a little bit of whatever in their system. You know what I'm saying? And it don't always got to be the person. Their friends could get, be hyped up, and now their friends are a little more willing to participate. And now, okay, peer pressure becomes a factor that plays into it as well. But all of that stems from time, and you don't get that if the person doesn't keep you there. You know what I'm saying? It can't marinate and can't build, and friends can't influence if you're allowed to leave, I guess. So
yeah, at the same time, it's just if someone want to go though, you can't keep them there.
Absolutely,
you gotta let them go. I mean, I'm not, again, not here trying to cancel trades.
Oh no, go ahead and say it. You almost said it. Go ahead and come out with it, man.
My man,
I love.
I fucks with my man Trigger, but
that might be worse than what you was.
There's some. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know. Yeah, but
I'm getting worse with these. Let me know in the comments.
Yes.
They did not get better.
The troubling behavior needs. I hope you put that behind you. And
definitely. The last one, the one in Miami, it seemed like he had old girl come to his rescue and kind of dispel anything that might have happened from that one. Just from the story I read, it was like they met in the club and they was all leaving, piled up in the car. Old girl was like recording him doing something. He was like, "All right, no, like that's not what we doing." He used the way it was written. It was like he used some type of line where it's like, that's a violation of like privacy or something like that, And then asked the security or driver to get the girl out the car. She didn't want to get out the car, and then that's where it allegedly stopped. So
I don't think I'm talking about that one there.
Oh, okay. That was the most recent one that I read, and
I think I saw that one, but it was more of the no jumper one where because that's the one where like she was saying
no jumper about to get people jammed up out here, man.
He wouldn't let her go.
Gotcha.
But he was
okay,
taking care of business.
Yeah, I think this one was a little different. I think this one was a young lady alleging some type of assault on her, sexual assault on her, and another woman came out and basically said like, you didn't even come back to the crib with us because you got put out because you were whatever. So all right, man. Well, yeah. Hopefully the behaviors can be corrected and if they are real, and discontinued, man, and just. Look, man, consent, man. That's just if a person don't want to be there, you shouldn't want to keep them there. If a person don't want to participate in something, and it took a little bit of growth on my behalf as well, because that goes for a lot of things, right? You can invite somebody out for the night, and it's like people will be, I don't really want to, and it's like you can say like, hey, man, come on, man, it's gonna be a good time, and try to convince them people. You never want them people there because they never really liven up and and help the vibes. Yes. So if a person don't want to be there, just all right, man. Appreciate it. And they can have their own reason. Their reason could be valid, and that's not to say that don't just like cast them as like lame or something like that. I hate when people do that. Like, oh, you lame, you don't want to come out. Blah, blah. Just they don't want to be there. Don't force them. Like you extend the invitation. If they decline it, then all right, man, appreciate it. Next time, and then move on. And keep it pushing and enjoy your time, like we did at Sunfest, Moonfest that one time.
Yeah.
We had a lot of friends that didn't want to be there, man. We enjoyed ourselves.
Yeah.
Probably too much.
Some people did.
I'm some people.
Yes.
I was hurting that day.
Old boy did too.
Radio.
Yeah.
Won't say no name.
My man, he
just copped the Aston Martin.
My man was going hard that night.
Yeah.
Like he was lucky he was with us that night.
Yeah.
Yes.
Woke up, he on the couch. I'm like, damn, my boy. You too, huh?
Hey, he was about to get. Hey, matter of fact, if he wasn't that messed up, he was probably gonna get some real good loving that night.
No comment. No comment.
Oh man, she's a cool chick though, man. I ain't seen her since that. Maybe your wedding. Maybe she was at the wedding.
She was there. She was definitely at the wedding.
All
right, man. Shout out to radio, man. Gonna say put your name out there. Shout out to my boy. He doing good. Cop the Aston Martin on him. Yeah, you know how he living. So
yeah. WAP then. It's on you, baby. Lead in.
It's on me.
Yeah, lead into it. Isn't that your?
It ain't on me. I'm looking. It ain't on me. Another day maybe, but I mean, I wanted to more so discuss. I mean, we could bring it up and we'll have fun with it wherever it goes. Wherever it goes, you know what I'm saying. Wish we had a lady, a female co-host with us this episode. But so Cardi B, Meg The Stallion, released the #1 Billboard Top 100 hit single. A fire music video to accompany, allegedly. You know, I haven't seen the music video.
You haven't seen me neither. I haven't seen it either.
I haven't seen it.
Yes.
Come on, man.
Hey, man. I haven't seen it either.
I saw this video. I saw the video. All right, so the song, WAP. How'd you say we want to clean this up? Wet, we just gonna say it. Wet ass pussy.
Wet ass poom poom.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? It's an acronym, folks. You know,
Wet ass poom poom.
Wet ass poom poom out here. So they released the track. It goes #1. So congrats to them. I want to, definitely give them their flowers for the track. Shout out to Ayo and Keys on producing it. I got ties with Ayo back up in UCF in Orlando. He live up there, so shout out to the homie. Yeah, man, I think that's a wild song.
Yeah, it is.
But
it's a bit raunchy.
It ain't a bit. It's raunchy. It's out there. It's out there.
I'm trying to be fair.
They wasn't.
Okay.
They were not trying to be. They called us bottom feeders.
Hey, man.
Like they was not.
Hey, man.
He a bottom feeder. Damn, that's messed up, man. It is what it is, but
yeah.
nigga sitting with the I eat ass face like Kevin Hart say listening to the song. But man, I think it was in a time where nobody's really making music to be outside. They kind of hit us below the belt, and if you will, and
I think it's outside music though.
I think it can serve as both. I think it can serve for both. I think that's where the successes come. Like there's enough in the song to where you can play off of it and make memes and joke. I saw plenty of memes tying what's the name, Viola Davis and
okay.
Yeah, they peek in the door and it's Viola Davis in there from How to Get Away with Murder.
Okay.
And she, dancing around with a bottle. Apparently, apparently she's known in the series for having a glass or two of said, whether it's wine or hard liquor or whatever. Okay. So it's people are having fun with it. Is what I'm getting at. Peeking in the doors and what's behind that door. You know what I'm saying? So they set it up to where people can take it and have fun with it on TikTok and IG, Twitter, Facebook, all that. And then also just the beat, man. It's like the music to go along with it is, if you in a booty club, like it fit right in that environment. If you in a dancing club, it fit in that environment. If you having a kickback at the crib, it fits.
Miss Cardi comes from the club, so
yeah.
I think she knows what she looking for.
Yep. So they had their successes with it, man, and gave another nod to women empowerment out here, because I saw a lot of, not so much right now. I mean, it kind of lost some steam rather quickly, but I think that's just the nature of the business that we're in right now, or the nature of entertainment, if you will. Everything is hot for a moment. It has its moment in time where it's just impact, or however they want to measure it, where it's just, there's no way you didn't hear about this song, you didn't see it, or a tweet or something about it didn't cross your timeline.
People complaining about it.
But that's the same thing. Like, it's still the hashtag, right? It's going to cross your timeline somehow. And they definitely had that moment for a couple of days, a good 3, maybe 5 days. And it's kind of subsided now, but I saw a lot of backlash for men complaining, saying they seeing a lot of people claiming WAP on the timeline, and
yes,
the lie detector test determined, that was a lie, So I saw a lot of that. I saw a lot of women firing back, saying, "Now the WAP exists, just not for you." You know, just not for you. It was something you did that curtailed the WAP that night. You know what I'm saying? Well, you know,
Hey man, Poom Poom got to be taken care of correctly.
hey, you know,
Got to take care of it correctly.
I'm just saying, man. You know, so I saw both sides of the story. You know what I'm saying? I could see both sides.
There are three sides to the story.
I could be impartial. You know what I'm saying? So, but you know, more so than anything, I just wanted to bring it up, get the reaction on the song and the public reaction to it. What your take with it was.
As far as like, so the two
we're
things.
both. Well, I'll say this too, right? We could be candid about it. We're both kind of. How old am I? I'm 30 something, 31, 32, 30. I don't know, one of them numbers.
I'm 40.
And
I'm a man.
Yes.
goddamn 47. But I wanted to get your impression on it, on the song as a whole, and the visuals if you saw it, and just what your takeaway from it was. I've heard people saying, and pretty prominent people in entertainment saying like, "Oh, it was too much. It's not art. It's not this. It's too much." So I wanted to see how you felt about it.
So I guess I'll start with what you said about what it, some people in the industry are saying it's not art. Who are you to say what's art? You know what I'm saying? Art is art.
Subjective.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, exactly. So what is art to me may not be art to you. It's sort of like, what's one man's trash is another man's treasure. So for someone to say that makes me question, especially if they're in the industry, it makes me question their, I guess not experience, but their, I don't want to say knowledge, but question their background in it. If you question another person's art,
Okay, so to say you think it's art, it's art.
I mean, yes,
it's art. It may not be art for them, but it's art.
It may not be even for me, but it's art. It's peace. It's
Hey, you
it's
don't
creative.
want the WAP?
I mean, I want the WAP. So,
I don't want the Whopper.
but what I will say is, the people that was getting like the men, the guys that were like up in their feelings about it. That's funny to me because it's like, man, let them have theirs. I mean, we've been having the last 40 years of it. Like, let them get their shots off, man. I mean, we've been calling them way worse.
Hit dog gonna holler, man. That's how it goes. Hit dog gonna holler. So
let them get theirs, man. I mean, shit, man. After that, it's just like, is the beat rocking? Yeah. All right. Well, is they flowing? Yeah. Well, okay. Let them get theirs.
why didn't they feelings though? Like if you did it, you did that.
Well, you said it, man. I kick dog. Well, yeah. You know what I'm saying?
did it, man.
Like if they know, like if they're what they call it, what the chicks call it, what is it? Dick report? Is that what they call it?
Yeah.
Like
I don't even think they created that term, but I think we created that term. But they,
if you know your shit is kind of low, I mean, with shit, dude, it's gonna hit you then. 'Cause now it's out there, or at least they got kind of like when niggas was in their feelings behind Scrub.
so just
So it happens.
But you can't be mad. You can't be mad.
Exactly.
If you on the passenger side of the ride, you can't be mad at that being their preference. You just gotta. That should motivate you to not be on the passenger side and to get right. And then they don't even fit you. You know what I'm saying?
But
I wasn't pissed off by Scrubs.
But those guys that were.
I was 7, so I was on the passenger side.
I was
On my mama ride.
Yeah, I think it came out like my freshman year in college. So yeah, but I didn't understand that. I was like, why are you getting in? Like, we've called women so much more worse in hip hop. We objectified them so much more in hip hop. So let them get their little, let them get theirs. You know what I'm saying? Let them have it. I don't.
And it's just really say nothing bad in the song.
And it's just a song. Why are you in your feelings?
But that's the part that was like confusing to me, and it's just like
this can't be serious. It's like this can't be serious.
It's really just like there's some weak dudes out there. I said because
arguably
the only line that was like a shot to me was the bottom feeder one, right? And that to me, I'm like, well, that's a play on words. I could argue that's a play on words right there, and it's just could it be a shot? Yeah, but I saw that more as like
I mean,
That's a bar. She put a bar in a song that really didn't need any bars.
But I guess if we're gonna be honest about it, but if you're gonna do that, you kind of
did that.
Yeah, you kind of took the risk, man. You she got that on you now.
You did that.
She got that whenever she wants to. She got you. She can. That's
you
why
did it.
That's why
like,
you ate my ass. Like she got it. Like you shouldn't have did it if you were worried about it.
You did that. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't willing to,
Yes.
you know what I'm saying? And that it kind of ushers in another topic, and this may be another topic for another day. But I saw a video of a dude, two dudes having a conversation on the couch, and one dude was just, and I know a lot of dudes that was like this. I shared in his sentiments at one point in time, but dude was just like asking his the other dude was like, do you kiss women during sex? And the dude was like, nah, I don't do that. I don't do that. I don't do this. And it's like, word? And like, so, and the dude that asked the question, he's sitting back listening to the response, and he was like, but you having sex with him, but you don't kiss him. And he saw, his point was he saw kissing as more intimate, and then the dude was like, so do you go down and you give him head? And he's just like, no, I ain't doing that unless you like my girl or wifey or something like that. And it's like, it's like dudes like that, where it's, you'll engage in arguably the most intimate act of penetrating, but you frown upon kissing or oral sex or whatever. And some people consider oral sex to be more intimate. Some people consider it foreplay, which means it happens before it's like the previews to the movie.
You really want to do it.
So it's the build up to the more intimate thing. Yeah. So that just struck me as kind of as odd, and the fact that, this song, I looked at it more as like women just saying what they bring to the table and not really bashing men. Like, again, besides that one line, I didn't really hear it as them taking shots.
But I keep saying, right, like, they've been called so much worse.
But yes, they have.
So,
but this song to me wasn't a song objectifying men. It was just women saying what they have and what they want. It wasn't like Scrubs was like, nah, player, you on the passenger side of your best friend ride. Like that's pretty specific.
Yeah.
Like I can say like, damn dog, we just riding to get some wings.
Or even Destiny Child's Bugaboo.
Yeah, like those songs were. Yes. I felt like were targeting. Like they were women empowerment for women, but at the cost of like, you can't do something, you can't provide for me. They didn't say like, I got this and you can't get it because you can't do this. Like Cardi said, I want you to hit that dangly thing. She didn't say you couldn't. She said, this is what I want. Why are men upset at this? Half of us want to be told this. We've been waiting years. We've been trying to imply that, would you like me to do that? We don't have the verbiage. We don't have the oratory skills to communicate that this is what we want and to ask a woman if they want it. They're telling us they want us to do the thing. We've been waiting on them to come out and say, do it to me. And some of us get mad out here. Y'all should be half truthful. Y'all should
feelings, huh?
Yeah. What the fuck is wrong with y'all? Just shut up, enjoy the song, and when the part, observe your woman, and when the part comes up and she get a little too crunk to that part, she get a little too lit to a part, pay attention to what part she got lit to.
Yeah.
How about that? How about you shut the hell up?
Pay attention.
And you watch your girl dance, and which part did she throw her hands up with and throw it back on her best friend a little too hard on? And then later that night, why don't you participate in said activity?
Yes.
Y'all don't even got the WAP. Why are you mad, bro?
Yeah.
She just told you why. What gets the WAP? What puts the W in the WAP? And here you are just mad because
you in your feelings.
You ain't never did said thing to get it wet.
You didn't get the WAP.
Because you didn't do the W. She told you what, get it there. You ain't do it. You know why? Because, oh, no, that ain't wifey, so I ain't going down on her. I'm not finna kiss her. I ain't kissing her all intimate. But then, oh, well, no, it wasn't even wet. Because you don't even want to kiss. You don't even want to oral. You expect it just to be a river just because you were there, because you're present. Come on, dog.
Yes.
Come on, man. Y'all boys amateurs out here, man. Y'all amateurs.
Then even your boy, we talked about Ben Shapiro. Your boy Ben Shapiro got in on it, saying that that's a condition if you got a WAP.
Yes.
A medical condition if you got a WAP.
Well, they need to put that on the IDs and on the driver's license, like the little star for the motorcycle or the whatever, the organ donor. WAP need to be on the identification card.
I said it once, I said it again. Fuck Ben Shapiro.
Yes.
Oh, I'm with him on this one though. I want it to. That needs to be displayed to the public.
What? Who has?
Who got the WAP?
Who got that wet ass poom poom?
That needs to be on the identification cards. You know what I'm saying? Front center. So when you check the age and like, okay, all right.
I can see that being.
Okay,
you know.
Born 92. Okay. I said, what is this here? Motorcycle endorsement. What we got below the motorcycle star?
Oh, you got that wet poom poom, my girl.
Okay. All right.
Shit.
You know what I'm saying? But on the flip side, the women just gonna come back and be like, well, we got to get a star too. You know what I'm saying? What y'all stars say? Yeah. Ladies, mind your business. Don't look at our IDs. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Ladies, y'all want to be on Front Street, and I'm fine with it. I support it, but we reserve the right to be gentlemen. You know what I'm saying? And to conceal ourselves until the time is appropriate. You know what I'm saying? So y'all just gotta wait to find out. You know, we got to make it a date too. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I like how. I don't really like how. I don't know why I said that. I feel like roles are reversing a little bit. And what I mean by that, I don't necessarily mean in the entirety or in the complete capacity of like women are the bread makers, men are not, or whatever that stereotype is there. But
you did send me that thing about you gotta make twice what she made.
Yeah, what I feel like, but I mean that's a different topic. We can touch on it real quick here, but the comment I'm making right now is that roles are reversing. It's just that women are becoming increasingly more empowered, and it's on display. And you could tell that like certain dudes they're uncomfortable with that for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Right? They're uncomfortable, and it's clear as day, where it's like dudes that don't want to share equally in like household chores and stuff, but it's like, but y'all splitting the bills. I'm like, if you splitting, even if you're not splitting the bills, I feel like, you know what I'm saying, like you can still wash a dish. There ain't nothing, not saying that like that can't be her ownership. Like if you're doing yard work and you own doing yard work, right? That's not to say your girl can't come out there every now and then and be like, you know what, let me help you put the rake, sweep up the leaves in the bag, right? She can help you occasionally. That don't mean that I mowed the yard this week, you got to mow it next week. Like that's not what that means, right? You can take ownership and still support your partner elsewhere.
Yeah.
But it's becoming increasingly more obvious that the dudes that are having a hard time with the fact that women are making more, being able to provide more for themselves. They're more independent, and they, seems like, a large population of men still want them to be kind of, you still supposed to cook every day, clean every day, do all this, but on top of being half of the provider, if that makes any sense.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean.
So we as fellas, man, we gotta tighten up a little bit, man. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're gonna be the provider, be the provider. You know what I'm saying? If you want to share in that role, then also share in the other roles and responsibilities. I guess is how I feel about it. I don't know.
I mean, I think that's how it should be. Like it's almost like, duh. But I feel like the people that really have it, tough. I think like the people that the more educated you are, I think those people are more in the line of thinking of like us. That it is sort of like she's gonna, she may actually move up a little faster than I do. So, it ain't no big deal. It's just she's in the game too. Whereas in the past, the women weren't really in the game.
Yep.
And
if she does, so what? Like that's your team still wins.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
So duh, like you said.
Yeah. You're like, duh, man. Like she's still coming home with you, huh? Yeah, all right. You know what I'm saying?
So world tour, or your girl tour. I blame Drake for this shit. Drake started that shit, man.
Him and that emo shit.
World tour, your girl tour. Like, it's a win either way, my guy.
True.
But all right. Well, real quick, let's address that video. Just really quick.
I watched that part. I don't know if I got back and watched her explain herself.
There was no logical explanation that should come to it.
I heard what she said, and it was like, that's interesting.
And by it, that's interesting.
Well,
that wasn't interesting. It was the stupidest thing I've ever.
Well, I find it interesting because it at a certain point it tells me how shows almost sort of like the immaturity in her. Mm-hmm. Because like she don't really know numbers.
All right, so let's give background on what we talking about before we get into it. All right, so I sent Ivy a video of a young lady. I don't remember her name or her at or if it was even her original video, but basically the young lady was having. Did I send it on IG or what? Let me see if I can find this thing. Let me see. All right, so the young lady basically was talking to somebody about how much a man needs to make in order to be an appropriate suitor for her. And that number was 2 times the amount that she, at least,
That's it. You said it.
At least twice as much as what she makes. And her explanation was infamous Callie. So that was, when did I send that? Oh yeah, I sent it 14
last week.
See, man, I was ready to talk with the fresh retwist. I was ready to cover it. And yeah, she's sitting next to a gentleman who is just kind of looking at her like,
crazy.
Are you dumb? Like, what are we really talking about right here? And I think that that becomes increasingly more difficult, especially as you get into a scenario that you're talking is that, hey, she's a professional and she might be ascending the ranks as well.
If she is a professional.
So if she making 6 figures, she making 100K. I got to be making at least 200K?
But see, here's the thing. If you making 50,000 and you saying the guy got to make double you realize only 9% of the people in the country make $100,000 a year.
Yeah.
So you really have.
You could go. There's a website you could go to that's like,
and I think it's like less than 1.5% black people make that much.
Yeah.
So like you really limiting.
There's a website you can go to, and you don't have to do it now. But it's like you can literally Google what percent. I think we talked about it on the episode. What percent? Where do I rank as far as salary wise, percentage wise in the world? Okay. And if you put 100K, you're in like the top 3 or 4%.
Yeah.
Across the world.
Like it literally there. Like, and the crazy thing about it was, so I distinctly remember in 2010 it was 10% made $100,000. Now it's 9%. So that's crazy.
So the gap's getting wider.
Yeah.
So I just think that, like, if these are your criteria out there, folks, pause and consider.
I'm not gonna say you ain't gonna be able to find it, but then you really limiting your opportunities if that's literally the basis for which. You know what I'm saying? You need your partner to make double what you make. I mean, see, that's something like maybe
how do you
in the
even
60s.
Find out about that?
Maybe in the 60s you could find that. You could do that. Because like in the 60s, I guess you could, in theory, see someone making 25 and a husband make 50.
I just have so many questions. It's like, why is that a criteria?
But
why?
I mean, I'm not gonna,
But I'm just trying to.
If that's what you want, that's what you want.
Yeah, but why? What led you to that number and to that? Like, is it comfort you're looking for? Because there's always something more outside of your budget.
It's always that. It's
always something outside of your budget.
But they always, like they say, the number one reason behind divorce is finances. So it's definitely comfort.
Yeah, because a bitch say something like that, and then say y'all rock steady and y'all make it. Like, do a bitch think that you just supposed to spend more as you make more? I think that is an ailment amongst
probably
folks. I don't think it's specific to a demographic, but
I just think. But like I said, I just think like when you make those type of statements, you should at the very least know what's the probability of that actually happening. If she's doing moderately well, I put it like that.
But that I feel like the only way people make statements like that are people that aren't doing moderately well. I think that's a person that makes 20, and I'm not saying this to like knock anybody, right? Because you do what you can do, right? You do what you can do, and there's honor in having a job and trying to make a living in a straightforward, legal kind of way, right? But if you're making 10 to 20K a year, right? That statement to you it's more ascertainable, right, at that level than if you're a six-figure, person making. If you're making 100K and you say, I don't want to talk to nobody that don't make less than 200K. Like, if you did take the percentage of, like what you just said, 9% make 100K or better.
Yeah.
I want to know what that number is at 200K.
Yeah, it's going to drop. It's going to drop.
Because that might be the 3 to 2%.
Yeah.
Right. So what are you doing there? And then if you are a professional lady who is in a C-suite or something like that, you making 200K. Now a person has to make a $500,000. What's that percentage like?
That's 1%.
So
once you cross 400 grand.
So at that point, it's like you can't complain about not finding a suitor anymore.
Once you cross the 400, that's a 1%, fella. You in the 1%.
Like, you can't complain about your inability to find a suitor that meets your criteria then, because just statistically speaking, and maybe that's what you were getting. Yeah. Just knowing that, hey, statistically speaking, people don't make this much money.
Like, for instance, I want to believe she's at least doing 65, and I'm like, baby, 135, 130.
Is she including bonuses and merit increases?
I guess
she talking just base salary. Is she throwing in the benefits package? Because all that goes into you. If you making 6K, if you making 100K just salary, but you got good benefits and you get a 10% bonus every year and maybe some time for overtime.
I think she including all that.
That whole package might be worth close to 200.
You know what I'm saying? But it just like, yo,
come on, Callie,
ain't that many people. Baby. There ain't that many people making 100 grand, like 9%. And then when you look at just black folk, and she is black, it's like less than 2.
But what does that look like to people? What do people think it looks like to make 100K?
It ain't really.
Do you think you're gonna wear like the 15 millimeter, 18 karat gold choker that your favorite rapper wears?
But it ain't as much money you think.
Because that's an 80 grand chain.
Yeah.
Do you think that's what that looks like? Because it don't. I'll tell you what it
really
looks like.
It's just you in what they call it, the upper middle class. That's what it is. Yeah, you're in the upper middle class.
You got a Honda with leather.
Yes.
You know why? Because you understand how much a car payment is, and that in 5 years that car is your payment's still gonna be the same, but the car's gonna be worth a third of what you paid for it. So you're not really trying to buy.
The boy's trying to fight, man. Look at that.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. But that's what it is. You might. I just think that when I hear comments like this, it's of people who think that life gets exponentially better as income does, and
it just makes you more comfortable.
It makes you more comfortable, but at the same time, that comfort comes at a cost. And if you're not careful, you just have more comfortable items, but you're still living kind of the same lifestyle. You can make 100K and be living check to check. Yep. You know what I'm saying? Yep. Yeah, you got a Benz, you got a
that goes back to what you were talking about.
You ain't got an AMG.
Getting the that's what you go back about. You get the Honda with the leathers.
What I'm saying,
we're gonna
you comfortable.
I enjoy that 350 check payment as opposed to the 800.
If you go and look at like an AMG 63, like S class AMG, right? That's a $200,000 car. You ain't in that.
No.
That's out of your range.
That's
you could at 100, but
3%. Like, that's you living outside your means.
But you could, but it's like, but that will come at a sacrifice to your lifestyle elsewhere.
Yeah, you look the part.
Like, now you got a crib in the hood, or you staying at home with your parents, right? But if you're trying to have,
are you still in that apartment?
Not a nice one. Not a nice one, because 100K a year. I mean, let's do the math. I mean, that's $1,000. That's $2,000 a week. Right? 52 weeks in the year. I'm just doing some quick math. So 52 times 2, that's 104. Don't even get me started on taxes.
Yeah.
So you really not. Yeah, is she talking after taxes? I got questions for her, man. Is this post taxes? I got a net twice your amount?
Yes. I don't know. Like I said,
her statement did what it was designed to do. I think it did.
It just showed me the maturity level of her.
What's she wearing?
When I heard that, it was just like, I don't think you know how much. And again, I'm giving her credit for doing moderately well. Like, I'm thinking you're doing 60, at least 60 grand a year. You're able to make at least 60 grand a year.
It's don't flip.
Your double, you looking for a nigga that's making $120,000 a year. And that 9% that make 100 grand, that includes everyone that from 100 to 120.
What does his body language say to you?
She full of shit.
Yes.
Like he agreed with us. Like I could tell already. He was like, man, she is full of shit right now.
His body language to me said, "You out your damn mind."
Yes.
Like it said, like I'm gonna hear you out,
Yeah,
but
I'm gonna let you dig that coffin for it, that grave for you. Go ahead.
he got his arms crossed. He kind of got his chin is up. He kind of got like a like, did I just hear what I think I heard kind of face?
Yeah.
But his eyebrows is like in the Scooby-Doo room, like where they're up into the middle.
Do you know how much money that is, guy? Like, all right, cool.
He not even making eye contact with her.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
he just, all his comments to her is just like,
I ain't gonna dress.
yeah, you can. He looking kind of straight and off to the camera, but it's like he not looking at it like, yeah. I can see how you get there. It's all just like, you stupid. And again, I can agree with that. I don't know her situation. Like if she making, like I said, 20 to 40, 50,
I
maybe.
want to believe she's doing better than that, though. You know what I'm saying? But if she making 40 grand, then it's like, all right, you probably can find that. But if you doing as well as I think you are, and you looking for someone that's in the 6-figure bracket, baby, those numbers are low, and they're even lower if you want a black man. Because out of that one, I don't even think it was 1.5%. It was like 1 and like 0.4%. Some of that is women, so
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? I don't know if you go both ways,
Damn.
but shit, you know what I'm saying? You gotta know some of that is women.
Lower your standards, increase your odds. That's
You
what
know
they
what I'm
say,
saying?
man. So
So
all right.
shit, that number's even lower.
All right, well,
Well,
good luck to her, man.
Yeah. God bless you, baby.
Good luck to you on your pursuit of love and happiness out there. What was her name?
I don't think it had a name on it. I just know it was infamous.
All right,
That's who-
Callie.
yeah.
Oh no, that was. Oh, okay, I got you. That was that's my homeboy page. That's the homeboy page from UCF.
Gotcha.
But shout out to her, and I hope she finds love. You know what I'm saying? In the right place.
With that said, man, don't be scared. Hit the share, like, love, thumbs up, notification, subscribe button on all our social media platforms, on YouTube, SoundCloud, Facebook, on the Hot Takes and Half Truth podcast, on IG and Twitter, on the HT Square Pod. And if you're truly new school, old school, you can email us.
Email them boys.
htsquarepod@gmail.com.
Yeah.
Email any, show ideas, comments, questions. You know what I'm saying? You got anything, just drop us a line, man.
That's
We'll
right.
be there. So,
Hey, next episode we covering Lovecraft. So
yes.
tune in with us. Lovecraft
Yeah.
on HBO.
Yeah, we'll be on the HT Square Pod Twitter, live tweeting. At least one of us will. And we'll cover.
We may even go live with this thing, man.
episode 2 and 3 on the next episode. You have anything else?
No.
All right. Well, with that said, just like that, we're done. Try to do better next time. From the two of us to all of you. Talk to you next time.
Peace. Hey. Yeah, Shawty tripping. Shawty lost her damn mind.
I heard that. And literally, it's funny because, right?